Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Those of you that thought that I might have jumped off a cliff, driven my car off a bridge, or otherwise caused harm to myself, you are greatly mistaken. I am here to deliver up radio superbity and to deliver up analysis like I always do. And I'm going to get right to it. I'm going to cover all of the news with a few props. And before I go on my first presentation of the election, which again I'm going to do every hour for those people that don't listen to the entire show, I'm holding up on the video simulcast. I want all of us Catholics, and if you're a Christian, just take the Bible. I wanted you to pull out all icons. I don't care if you've got your favorite statue, if you've got your favorite Bible. I brought in my little statue of St. Eric, who I'm going to pray gives me will and power to carry on. But that's what we do in these tough moments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, I am going to use the written statement, which I am going to perfect. My newsletter is going to come out quick. And then we're going to have a special edition by 9 o'clock, which will have what I'm about ready to report to you. And you can then use it, pass it along. Last night and early this morning, I did my duty. I watched, listened, absorbed, analyzed, prepared, so that I could speak to you this morning, educated. It was painful, but I watched through the acceptance speech. I once coined the phrase for myself, pragmatic realist. I'm conservative, I'm libertarian. I'm also common sense, pragmatic realist. Unlike the radio, in the written word, I can say what I want to say, but there is no capital S, capital C. You know what I'm talking about. There is no capital S, capital C. We awake this morning a divided country and with daunting challenges. Yet, a majority of this country chose the man who increased that divide and deepened the fiscal crisis and foreign policy. And we want him to solve the problems we face. Considering the state of the country, his record as president, and all the reasons not to reelect him, America reelected Barack Obama. Which lends us to the question, why? How can this happen? Well, it's much deeper than the campaigns, the candidates, and even the record of Barack Obama. His reelection, based upon the evidence, is, as Spock would say, illogical. It is my opinion his reelection is proof America has now gone past the point of reversing the course of decline George Bush and Barack Obama and the Congress during their terms has set. See, that's where I blame. I blame Bush, Obama, and the Congress, Senate, and House that has been in place since 2000 all the way through today. Now, that course is one of more and more government and centralization of everything, banking, healthcare, energy, until we reach the collapse of capitalist America. Now, I am going to say what many do not have the guts to say, but you know the Bulldog does. Once again, blacks, Hispanics, young voters, and women decided the election. And they decided more Obama. Just like I watched the Democratic convention in shock as they couldn't pass a voice vote to put God back in their platform. I mean, I'm watching that and I'm like, my God, these are wackos. I couldn't identify even, sorry, you don't judge the book by the cover. Just looking at the people at the Democratic convention, I couldn't identify with one of them. And I watched that same kind of cheering crowd in Chicago last night. What did I see? I didn't see me. I didn't see you. I didn't see Zimmerman. I didn't see Garrett. I didn't see Denise. Here's what I saw, folks. And by the way, Garrett, we're not going to get to a song this break, so don't worry. I saw the new majority coalition in this country. And by the way, those jackwagons that want to analyze the Republican brand and what Romney should have done, shouldn't have done, and all that, bunch of crap. Because it doesn't matter. Do you know the majority of those people that thought we were going in the wrong direction and the economy sucks still voted for Obama. Why? Why? Here's why. Here's the coalition. Liberals, green energy morons, single women who want taxpayers to pay for their contraceptives and abortions, students who want taxpayer-paid college, public union workers who want taxpayer-paid wages and pensions. In Ohio, baby, it was union workers and those who supported the bailout. Union workers who want even more if it kills the employer. People are more and more secular and don't believe in God. Blacks and Hispanics who believe race is more important than their employment percentages. Come on, folks. Hispanics and blacks, unemployment up under Obama, doesn't matter. Gays who want to be married to each other. Individuals who want unlimited unemployment and unlimited medical care and prescription drugs and or unlimited government disability and or unlimited government food stamps and housing. Young people who are so transfixed and enamored with a decadent hip-hop culture, which has now not only permeated the pop culture scene, they control it, and many other various assortments of oddballs and goofballs. That's the fact, Jack. That is the new majority coalition in America. It's the reality, and it's over. They ain't giving us back our country. The American who believes in hard work, God, capitalism, the Constitution, business, less government, jobs, strong economy, strong military, the good old traditional American values, all which made America great, have lost control of this country forever. Write it down and circle it. We are now a minority and will remain so because the coalition is not going to change course. Juan Williams spoke with glee that the blue-collar block of votes are gone forever. Why? Because they ain't got freaking jobs. In the forefront of the new America is the traditional network and print media, which has chosen to lose their integrity and ignore or obfuscate the serious issues of this country, the personal narrative and the record of Barack Obama. It is bizarre. The media and liberal famous people would rather have their liberal, nice-looking black man rather than the man who can do the job. I marvel how countless single issues should have defeated Obama by themselves. For example, the number of food stamp recipients and unemployed. Or this one for me, he's admitted he's freaking lazy. America accepts a lazy man as their president in the most important office in America. I'll not give you the other 1,000 reasons he shouldn't have won. Polls showed Romney won the issues of values, vision, leadership. Should we have a president we agree with values, a vision, leadership? He lost. They still blame George Bush still for the economy 4 years later. And guess what? The American voters, yep, we're great. And watch. All this kumbaya, work together stuff is BS. By the way, Obama went through the whole litany of all that he supports. He said it, man. The teachers, that woman that wants this, da-da-da-da-da. There's going to be a backlash on old Barack Obama now on Sandy, Libya, and more. He will be destroyed. And he should be. The media and the coalition may not care. They have proven having the black man, lazy or not, in the office seems to help them purge themselves of their black guilt. It's incredible. And like the scorpion, whose character's not going to change, like the zebra, whose stripes aren't going to change, Obama, Reid, Boehner, and company will all stake out their positions consistent with who they are. I weep for America. I weep for it. Now, I've said I'm going to have some more analysis of what went down last night, but that is the current state of America, stated succinctly, articulately, and it is a fact. It does not matter anymore who the Republicans run for the presidency unless that Republican runs as a person who supports gay marriage, free money for everybody, free money for contraceptives and abortion, and basically adopts the Democratic platform, well, then a Republican get elected, but who gives a damn if he looks like a Democrat, sounds like a Democrat, but he's got an R next to his name. I am not overstating this, folks. It is over as we know it. That coalition ain't never going away. And you know why? They keep increasing their numbers. Come on in, illegal immigrants. Come on. More states adopting gay marriage. Maine, Maryland, Washington, all of them. When we come back, we're going to have a traffic report, and then I'm going to dive right back into this on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Hey, Jake, can you come here for a minute, buddy, old pal, friend of mine? Can you get Jake for me? I want him to facts. A couple things here. I tell you right now, we have met our Armageddon. And it's going to be interesting. Here, can you fax that to Sarah out in Independence for me, those 2 pages, and tell her to just add those to the newsletter. Yes, I got the key. The key's in on my table there. Folks, I'm editing my analysis that I'm putting up, and I want to get it out by 9 p.m. I stayed up till 3 in the morning to write it for you because I know you'd expect my analysis. And those people that listen to my radio show and those people that love Bulldog Nation, I want you to take this and I want you to send it to all your friends and neighbors and everything else. Because we're not going to change, are we? Are we going to change? Well, Barack Obama won, so we're going to throw away our values. Not. How about a traffic report there, Blondie?
Well, you know what?
That's your new nickname, by the way,
Is
Blondie.
it? Well, wait till you hear my new song that I've got planned for you. Right now, really, nothing going on. So you can go right back to just...
letting it rip?
You sure can.
I want you to know that I took great, irony. I love irony. I love it. I love it. I'm sitting here thinking to myself how divided we are. And Lincoln comes out on Friday, and how screwed we are. And the Bond movie coming out Friday is called Skyfall. Now, let me break down the election a little bit more here. And here are some random comments. Obama has no mandate. He's a lame duck on arrival. Thank God the GOP is in control of the House so we can block some of the stuff. The GOP with their Aiken and Murdoch and McMahon and Brown Senate candidates like in 2010 screw up a second chance to remove Reid as a majority leader. Voters claim they saw themselves as 25% liberal, 40% moderate, and 35% conservative. I think it's BS. I think it's clear as day. We're a 50-50 country now. Moderate my ass. It's either liberal or conservative. Romney made the fatal mistake of allowing his opponent unmitigatedly to define him for months in July, August, and September. Now, I want to say this right now. I do not waver. I do not change any of my opinions how good a president Mitt Romney would have been, and that he was right on the issues, and he was hitting his stride, and he's a good, decent man. His record is good, everything. Don't freaking tell me that Mitt Romney was a flawed candidate. BS. Compare Mitt Romney to John McCain. Mitt Romney had 30,000 people in Westchester Friday. Mitt Romney was not a flawed candidate. No candidate is perfect, but he was not a flawed candidate. Let me say it. This is what I have been dying to say that no one else in the country will have the guts to say. You keep hearing this word diversity. Diversity, diversity, diversity. Obama alluded to it last night. Diversity, diversity, diversity. Let me tell you something. Liberal diversity is not good for this country. And see, when they talk about diversity, they're not talking about race, creed, and religion. They're not talking about people from India, Asia, Eastern Europe, Middle East, blacks, Indians. No. That's not what they're talking about, diversity. They're talking about the gays, the green energy morons. This is what makes us great. The diversity makes me sick. And this, let me tell you something else. These billion-dollar campaigns, super PAC, 4-year presidential campaigns, exit polls, polling every day. It's like a machinery. It's downright scary. When you hear campaigns say, we know who the voters are, we know how they think, and we know how to get them to the polls. It's like, what the hell? Voters are losing their free freaking will? And you know what? Since Romney lost Florida and Virginia, Ohio maybe doesn't matter. But, the fact that he lost Ohio, Florida, and Virginia, maybe it doesn't matter. But Ryan didn't even win Romney, Wisconsin. He turned out to be a poor choice. I loved him in the beginning. Hey, this guy's bold. He's talking about Medicare. Well, they shut him up. And he turned out to be kind of a Boy Scout in the Biden debate. He let Biden walk all over him. Instead of stopping him and saying, Mr. Biden, what's so funny about da-da-da-da? Now, here is a maxim. Write it down. Do we have that bit from the movie? Gosh, I know we got it. It's a bit. It's too late now. We're losing the effect of write that down. The guy that was in college for 7 freaking years.
Oh, Farley.
No, not Farley. Never mind. Forget about it. It's too late now. But write this down. Mobsters will beat Boy Scouts every freaking time. We get Chicago mobsters led by Axelrod and Boy Scouts like Romney and Ryan. Mobsters beat Boy Scouts any day of the week. They're ruthless. I got to give you a what if. Justice Roberts Obamacare. What if? What if Roberts didn't jackwagon us on Obamacare? Fox News coverage, terrible. Megyn Kelly, lightweight. Karl Rove made a scene for 30 minutes rejecting the call of Ohio. And you had Brett Baer, Boy Scout. We're on the same page. We're on the same page. We're on the same page. The people with egg on their face, Barone, Dick Morris, Bulldog. Egg on our faces. So much for that Romney freaking victory. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, Obamacare and all the regulatory agencies Obama controls will strangle us. Just watch. Herman Cain would have won. How about this, folks? Colorado had legislation of marijuana on its ballot. It passed. What voters do you think that brought out? Obama lovers. Did you know same-sex marriage passed in Washington, Maryland, and Maine? I rest my case on what course our country has set. And before those people that want to attack me because I'm against gay marriage and all that, I want to tell you the type of America and American that I relate to. Because I'm a sinner, not a saint. You know what? Elvis. I'm going to use Elvis as an example. Elvis was a sinner. Cheated on his wife. Shouldn't have done that. Elvis used drugs. He shouldn't have done that. But you know what? Elvis loved his family. Elvis loved America. Elvis believed in God. Elvis was like us. Sinner, not perfect. That's what we used to be as Americans. Now, we have to be tolerant of everything. We come back, more Radio Superbity. Until then, this is America Sandman for America going to sleep yesterday. I shall not surrender on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. I want to thank the Godfather, Larry Grouse, who threw together a party last night for election, and I never go anywhere. Everybody knows that, but I went down to my Godfather's condominium, and what a neat gathering we had. It was me and my lovely wife, Mary, who was the prettiest girl at the party. It's kind of cool, and I'm not just saying that because she's my wife. I swear to God, I always feel like, in fact, I know I got the prettiest girl at the party. No offense, Chuck. No offense, Chuck. And Chuck and his lovely bride, Rebecca, who's also very beautiful. And come to think of it, we had a beautiful crowd. Then Larry had his neighbor over, a nice young man, successful young businessman. And he has a lovely wife. She kind of looked like a blonde Norwegian woman. And my wife talked to her for a long time. They got along well. And then Larry's daughter, Tammy, and her date came. And Tammy's a attractive young lady.
Garrett, were you invited? I wasn't invited.
And I didn't get that. And it was just us, and we had a great time. Larry and his brother Dave, and Larry had great food, great company. And what's great about it is we were all leaving by 9:00. Not a late party, but we really had a great time. And the Godfather took care of us, and that's where I watched the early election results. Denise Johnson, Blondie.
Yes, sir.
Give us a full traffic report if you can before I get rocking again.
Nothing going on. There's
All
your
right,
full
good.
traffic report.
Very good. I like that.
6:30, go for it.
All
Everybody's
right.
too depressed to get up.
Everybody's still in bed. That's
Ladies
it.
and gentlemen, the American jury, if you did not hear my rant earlier, I'm going to do it on the hour every hour. But for right now, let's rock and roll through some of the facts from last night. If you're just tuning in, of course, Obama was reelected. He won the popular vote by under 1 million votes. Mitt Romney was gracious in his concession. Barack Obama, he mentioned every one of these groups, which I'm going to talk about in my rant. The United States House of Representatives remains in control of the Republicans. You got something on that?
Hey, hello, Republicans!
The banner.
Let me say thanks to Pete Sessions.
That's enough.
Greg Walden and the whole
I'm
team
serious.
at the House.
I don't want to hear him talk about that. United States Senate, the Democrats retain control with 51 seats. Republicans hold 44. They freaking blew it. Florida has not been called, but it doesn't make any difference. Thomas Massey won the congressional seat in Northern Kentucky. Andy Barr ran for the second time against Ben Chandler and beat him. Ben Chandler, an icon. The name is an icon. Chandler, icon in Kentucky, lost his congressional seat. Campbell County rejected a library tax, and voters made hunting and fishing a constitutional right, 84 to 16%. How freaking messed up is it that hunting and fishing is not a constitutional freaking right in the first place? In Indiana, Mike Pence was elected governor. Democrat Joe Donnelly defeated Republican Richard Murdoch, jackwagon, in the race to replace Lugar. Defeating Lugar was a huge mistake, just like they did when they defeated Castle in Delaware. Mistake. Republican Luke Messer won the Indiana 6th congressional district vacated by Pence. In Texas, Tea Party-backed candidate Ted Cruz won his U.S. Senate seat. In Missouri, Claire McCaskill beat Todd Aiken. Terrible opportunity lost. North Carolina, Pat McElroy elected as the first Republican governor since '88. Ohio, Joe Deters won, Hamilton County prosecutor. Guess what? Cincinnati City Council, they each get 4 terms. Democrat Jim Neal beat Donovan. That's all presidential vote. That's the Democratic vote in Hamilton County. By the way, Hamilton County, thank you for voting for Barack Obama again. Todd Portune and Greg Hartman retained posts as Hamilton County commissioners. Samarco retained her spot as coroner. Brown beat Mandel. And let's listen to these names and the images they conjure up. The Republicans running for Senate. Aiken, Missouri. Mukadem, or whatever the frick his name is in Indiana. Mandel. McMahon in Connecticut. You get the picture? Weird freaking people running for office as Senate candidates. Republican Steve Shabbat retained his first congressional seat. Republican Brad Winstrup won his second congressional seat. Ohio issue rejected 2, called for commission to redraw legislative. The levy passed for Cincinnati schools. Democratic Senator Bob Menendez won in New Jersey. He was the guy that they some crap came out about him. Pennsylvania, Bob Casey won. This shows how screwed up the freaking country is. Jesse Jackson Jr., who's a nut job, who's been mentally health in Mayo Clinic, won re-election overwhelmingly in Illinois. Independent former Governor Angus King won the seat of Olympia Snow, legalized same-sex marriage. Maryland legalized same-sex marriage. Colorado legalized adult possession and tax marijuana. Minnesota legalized same-sex marriage. New Hampshire, Democrat Maggie Hassan won the governor's race. Tommy Thompson lost to Wisconsin. Massachusetts, Elizabeth Warren beat Scott Brown. Screw you, Scott Brown. Democrat Joseph Kennedy III won the Barney Frank seat. Virginia, Democratic Governor Tim Kaine won. You get the picture. Last night was victory for the Democrats. You can slice it and dice it however you want. It was a victory for the Democrats all the way around. Garrett, what are your thoughts on? I'm going to get your thoughts. What are your thoughts on the election?
I'm pretty sure nothing that I wanted to happen happened. The city council thing, the Hamilton County sheriff, obviously the president, just nothing. There's not one thing I can say, well, at least we got, I guess, the House, but.
Same here.
I mean,
at least
what else can we hang our hat on?
At least something that I knew Tom Massey was going to win the congressional seat where I live. And you know what, folks? There's evil in the world, and there's good in the world. And there is a battle that's going to go on in this country politically and has always gone on. And as bad as it gets, the dark before the dawn, sometimes is when it gets darkest is when you see the light of day. Helen Keller said that. And you know what? I am no shrinking violet. My nickname is the Bulldog, not the Poodle. And I want you to follow my lead. I want you to remember Edmund Burke. You know the cliche because it's always true. All that is necessary for evil to triumph is good men do nothing. We are going to stay in the game. We are going to stay in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, when we come back, I'm going to keep ripping it, analyzing it, helping you through this. Until then, we got John Mellencamp on Class X Radio. Jim from Verona has weighed in. He says Elizabeth Warren is to announce a formal name change to Pocahontas Warren. In related news, Linda McMahon has called for a steel cage rematch on pay-per-view. How about a traffic report there, Blondie?
Well, right now I'm trying to scroll down, but there was nothing going on. Pretty quiet out there. I wonder kind of if everybody just took it easy last night and stayed home, maybe taking another day off to cry and have an extra cup of coffee. There's nothing going on right now. So that's at least good news for you.
All right. I'm looking down our list here, Garrett, on cuts. The hell with Boehner in the House, winning Republican. Thank God they did. Don't care about Warren and Cruz and McCaskill. What does Sherrod Brown's wife has to say? Let's hear what Sherrod Brown, the Senate candidate, has to say.
Because of the work that Sherrod did, secretive out-of-state forces invaded our state.
Secret out-of-state forces. Enough for her. To hell with her.
Secretive.
They spent more money.
This was funny. Number 9, Karl Rove challenging the Obama victory in Ohio. Karl just wouldn't let it go. God love him. Hit it.
Well, I have great respect for our decision desk, and I see that they're very happy in Chicago. But I've got to tell you, the Romney camp has real doubts about the call that's been made by us and I guess other networks about Ohio. They do not believe that Ohio is in the Obama camp. I just got an email from a top Romney person. I said, do you agree with our call? He said, not really. It is less than 20,000 votes now, with 20% of the vote still out in GOP areas.
He was wrong. Huckabee, Republicans have done poor reaching out to people of color. Let me tell you something, Huckabee. You know what? A principle is a principle, and it doesn't transcend race. It doesn't make any difference. Don't you understand? It doesn't matter what Romney and Ryan said. The blacks and Hispanics would be voting for Obama. He's wrong. Huckabee is a coon. You can play Huckabee.
I don't see it as all that shocking. I mean, typically people of color vote Democratic anyway.
He didn't have the guts to run for president, did he?
Unusual.
No.
It's rare for Republicans to get a significant portion of minority vote. It shouldn't be. I think Republicans have done a pathetic job of reaching out to people of color. Something we've got to work
on. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, let me give you some facts. Black unemployment under Obama doubled. Hispanic unemployment, I think, doubled or pretty close to double. They want their guy in there anyway. Why? That coalition I spoke about. It's going to be interesting if anybody in the national news media has the guts to say what I said in my rant, which is going to be coming up on every hour. If you missed it, folks, keep your radio on 88.9 or 89.1 or Class X app or classxradio.com, and we are going to, I'm going to do it again. You need to hear it. You need to hear it. It's important. All right, let's see what else. We could cover some of the regular stuff in the newsletter. It's sad to report military deaths. Army Private Brandon Buttry, 19, of Shenandoah, Iowa, lost his life on November 5th. That's sad, isn't it? Damn right it's sad. Today in history, Lewis and Clark sighted Pacific Ocean. Thank you, Lewis. Let me see. 1942, the first president to broadcast in a foreign language, FDR in French. Give me a break. Gone with the Wind, 1976, was televised. You know, Gone with the Wind, I like this movie. Especially this part.
Where shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Great line there, baby. Douglas Wilder was elected the first U.S. black governor. Magic Johnson announced he has HIV virus and is going to retire. That was a weird day.
Yeah.
Because of the HIV virus that I have attained, I will have to retire from the Lakers today. I just want to make clear, first of all, that I do not have the AIDS disease, because I know a lot of you want to know that. But all right, HIV Magic. Virus. I plan on going on.
Today's famous birthdays: Joni Mitchell, 69. Billy Graham, 94. Madame Curie, Miss Plutonium. Leon Trotsky, that's relevant. Hug-a-Bear Day, Magazine Day. Today's forecast, partly cloudy. Thursday, sunny, high of 54. Friday, sunny. Feel-good song on Facebook's going to be Lobo, me and you, and a dog named Boo. Yes, Denise, you were going to say something?
I was just going to say Hug-a-Bear Day.
Hug-a-Bear Day.
I mean, hopefully they wouldn't eat you. Why would you want to hug a bear anyway?
It's a good point. After Obama's re-election, Adam Levine tweeted, "That's what happens when you blank with Sesame Street." When we jack-wagging up old Adam Levine.
Yeah, he's a D-bag.
We will never play Maroon 5 again on this show.
You jackwagon?
There was a picture of Big Bird voting yesterday.
You go right next to the freaking Eagles. You will not be played.
He's a
Craigslist users,
D-bag.
people are posting ads to trade gas. By the way, that's part of what I'm saying about the coalition. Levine, Springsteen, they're all part of that coalition. Jay-Z, they're all part of that coalition. Let me see, what do we have here?
How long do you think it'll be until like a celebrity wins the presidential race? Like how
not long.
Become trivial.
Oh, I got to say something. This will get Chuck Holbrook fired up. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, what I'm about ready to say is completely serious. It is not sarcasm. There are some things that are going on which I cannot announce, but I am extremely confident that I will become very shortly in the national spotlight on a regular basis. And you know what, folks? When that happens, the concept and the idea of Bulldog 2020 is a real freaking possibility.
It's a real deal.
Not pie in the sky stuff. Would that not be incredible? And you know what? If called, I shall serve.
I'm excited about this. You've told us a little bit about it.
Based on what I told you off the air, is it not exciting?
It gets me excited.
It doesn't take much, though, does it?
But all I'm telling you, folks, is that don't think. Because, see, I got the guts to do it. You just got to have the platform. You got to have the platform. You know, you just can't be some obscure person and go run for president. You have to be known out there a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, I can't play this for Michelle Obama because I can't stand her. You know what? We're going to dedicate this song to a classy woman, Ann Romney. Hendrix for Ann Romney on Class X Radio. This is just an important message that I'm going to do 3 times. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to do it at 8:05 too. Last night and early this morning, I did my duty. I watched, listened, absorbed, analyzed, and prepared so that I could come in here today and speak with an educated voice for you. It was very painful. I'm not kidding you. I almost turned to a movie. But I watched last night all the way through the acceptance speech. Once upon a time, I coined the phrase for myself that I was a pragmatic realist. I'm conservative. I'm libertarian. I'm also a common sense, pragmatic realist. Unlike the radio, I can write down this, but on the radio, I have to speak in code. My father used to always love to say there is no capital S, capital C. You know what I'm talking about. And there isn't. There isn't. Everything has a price tag. We awake this morning a divided country and with daunting challenges. Yet a majority of this country chose the man who helped increase the division and deepen the fiscal crisis and add to our foreign policy concerns. Considering the state of the country, the record of Barack Obama as president, and all the reasons not to reelect Barack Obama, America reelected him. Why? How can this happen? Let me tell you something. When they say Romney was a flawed candidate and all of this, BS. There is not a perfect candidate, but Mitt Romney was a good candidate. He raised money. He had integrity, no scandals. He had a good record of achievement. He was right on policy. It's much deeper in the campaigns, the candidates, and the record of Barack Obama. His reelection, based upon the evidence, as Spock would say, is illogical. It is my opinion Barack Obama's reelection is proof America has now gone past the point of reversing the course of decline. George Bush, Barack Obama, and the Congress, the House and the Senate, from 2000 up until now, the last 12, 13 years, has caused. Where we are today, based primarily George Bush, Barack Obama, and the Congress that has served since 2000. And that course that we are now on is one of more and more government, centralization of everything, banking, healthcare, energy, weakened in the world. And what's going to happen is we're going to stay on this course until we collapse. Once again, blacks, Hispanics, young voters, and women. I've been preaching this for 2 years. Blacks, Hispanics, young voters, and women decided the election, and they decided more Obama. Just like I watched the Democratic convention in shock. They couldn't pass a voice vote to put God back in the platform. And I'm watching all these people in the crowd from Chicago. I didn't see me. I didn't see you. I remember watching the Democratic convention and saying, my God, look at these freaking people. And I'm being serious. I am judging them by their looks. There is some wacko people, and these are at the convention. And you know what? This is the reality. Listen to this very closely. And I don't know if anybody else in the media or talk shows got the guts to say it, but here is the fact. There is now a new majority coalition which now controls national politics. Here's the coalition, and it's never going to go back. They're feeding this coalition. They're increasing this coalition with the legalization of marriage in 4 more states, legalization of marijuana, with the influx of illegal immigrants. Obama and the Democrats' plan is working, and that is increase this coalition. Liberals, green energy morons, single women who want taxpayers to pay for their contraceptives and abortions, students who want taxpayer-paid college, public union workers who want taxpayer-paid wages and pensions, union workers who want even more if it kills the employer, people who are more and more secular and don't believe in God. It's amazing. That's the group. Also, blacks, Hispanics. We can't forget that. We have the blacks and the Hispanics. We have the group of other people in this are those that think there should be more and more people, gays, married each other, should be allowed to be married each other. Individuals who want unlimited unemployment, unlimited medical care and prescription drugs, unlimited government disability, unlimited government food stamps, 45 million now on food stamps, unlimited free housing, young people who are transfixed and enamored with a decadent hip-hop culture led by Jay-Z and others, which has now not only permeated the pop culture scene, they control it. The hats that people wear, the clothes, the music, you name it. They control it. And many other various assortments of oddballs and goofballs. Juan Williams announced with glee that the blue-collar voting bloc for Republicans is gone. And it is. Why? Because it's gone. Manufacturing jobs, gone. In Ohio, union workers and bailout supporters overwhelmingly went for Obama. The time has come as in Rome. Think about what you watch on television and everything else and what's going on in the world. The fall of Rome. What did we have going on? We were weak on the borders. Rome was weak on the borders, weak with the other countries. They gave them free games. We got all these sports and everything else, and the dole. Food. They gave out free. Rome got fat, lazy, and flatulent, as Willie likes to say. The Americans who believe in hard work, God, capitalism, the Constitution, business, less government, jobs, strong economy, strong military, traditional American values, all which America made America great, gone. Polls showed Romney won the issues of values, vision, and leadership. Does that sound like a good president? Values, vision, and leadership. He lost. Do you know that he lost with people that still thought we were going in the wrong direction and the economy was bad? Why? Because this coalition doesn't care. They don't care. And watch. All this work together stuff is BS. Obama is going to face a backlash on Hurricane Sandy, Benghazi, and more. He's going to be destroyed. But the media and the coalition, they don't care. They have proven having a black man, lazy or not, in office seems to help them purge themselves of their black guilt. Folks, the guy has admitted to being lazy. He admitted to being lazy. In the forefront of this new America is the traditional network and print media, which has chosen to lose their integrity and support him at all costs. It is bizarre. The media and liberal famous people would rather have their liberal black man rather than the man who can do the job. There are so many countless single issues that should have defeated this guy. It is incredible. The presidency is the most important job in the world, and the guy that holds the position for four more freaking years admitted he's lazy and proved he's lazy. It's incredible. But that's okay, because he's a liberal black man, and he has got this coalition. And let me tell you something what's scary, folks. It is never, ever, ever going back. Ever. I'm being serious. It's over. And it's going to slowly take this country, actually pretty quick when you're talking about, I can tell you right now, in 4 years, it's going to be ugly. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, here is a song by Fleetwood Mac, which really applies to Barack Obama. It's called Over My Head. We come back, more Radio Superbity, and we'll get a traffic report on Class X Radio. Give us a traffic report, please.
Okay, there's an accident just popped up, and this one has injuries on Eastern Avenue at Heacon, so watch for that. And you know what? Really, the traffic's just kind of slowing down. 71, 75, pretty normal looking there for you. Already slow from Buttermilk down to the bridge. And then jumping over and on the Ohio side of the river there, 74 inbound. You're slow there from right around North Bend. Looks like just right around the merges, 275 merge, right around on 75, right around the Norwood Lateral, and around 74. Other than that, not too bad.
Eric Deters, the Bulldog here, and I want to just say, thank you, Denise. I want to just say this. I love getting input from Bulldog Nation. Remember, you can always email me at eric@ericdeters.com or text me at 859-250-2527 and give me your ideas and comments, because I draw upon them. I really do. And last night at this dinner party, or not dinner party, standing around party, I have to give Oracle status to the guy who made the wings. And he's a big Bulldog Nation fan. And Garrett's not paying attention to do it because Wiz is bothering him.
Yeah.
But I've got to give Oracle status to Brian LaChavio, who is a chef that made the best chicken wings in the world. And he's been a big Bulldog Nation fan. He wanted to do the wings just to meet me, and that's an honor. And I want to give him Oracle status.
Maybe he could bring some in one morning.
In addition to that, status. And this is so, I'm not telling you I don't enjoy it, because I do, but it's also humbling, and I take it very serious. The Safe Light guy, they're these, what's the name of that company that does windshields? Safe
Light?
Yeah, Safe Light came and fixed my windshield in my truck, and the guy came in the law office to hand me the stuff he wanted to hand me. And my son-in-law, Chad, said he did that because he just wanted to meet me, and I want to give him Oracle status.
There's a lot of people that want to meet you.
And then the neighbor.
Hold on, what happened to your windshield?
It just broke, no reason at all. And then the neighbor of my godfather that came over, this nice young man, said he's been a huge fan and just wanted to meet me. And it's just awesome. We'll give him Oracle status. And then, I just got a text message from a Bulldog Nation member, Dakota, who says he's been a fan for a long, long time. And he just asked me a question. And yesterday, I had somebody come over from Indiana to hire me as a lawyer. And they're fan. It's so humbling. And I used to always say, man, people don't know who the heck I am. I'm obscure. And Chuck goes, I don't think so, Bulldog.
Not
more
quite
people
obscure.
But it's humbling, and I take the responsibility serious. And like last night when I was depressed and I just wanted to go to bed, I said, man, I got to stay up. I got to watch all of this, and I have to write up a great report and analysis because my fans expect that and they want to forward it to people.
Can I give Oracle status to somebody?
Of course.
Somebody just, I guess, instant messaged Zim on a live chat and said that They want to meet me. They're single and ready to mingle. So.
There you go.
There you go.
Thank you.
And they sent us
It's going to be 513-313. Oh, so, go ahead, dog.
Bulldog Nation member.
To give information.
Let's just keep this rolling. Bulldog Nation member Dave sent me a text. Great speech. At least you have the gonads that tell the truth. I'm sick today. Pray for impeachment. Let me tell you something, folks. What's going to come down in Benghazi is not going to be pretty. Because let me tell you how Congress works. Do you know what John Boehner in Congress is already looking for now? 2012. They're already focused on 2012 midterm elections.
2014.
Bulldog Nation member Phil uses the F expletive. I'm sick over this. I am too, Phil. Bulldog Nation member Rick, I'm struggling to be optimistic. Any suggestion? Is there a silver lining? You are my political Yoda. Rick, let me tell you what we do. We stay the damn course, and we fight on. And I just want to say this, and I announced this earlier. There's some things that are going on, and my enemies are going to go, yeah, right, and da-da. But I am not joking. I am not joking. There are some things going on to where the concept and the idea of me running for president is not beyond some kind of crazy pipe dream. And you know what? I could stand on that freaking podium and out-debate and out-campaign any of them. So hang in there, and if America, for some reason, does not die on the vine in the next 4 years, we'll see what happens. Denise, you got a traffic report for us.
I do, but there's a couple of guys. Dangerous Jim, I think he wrote a song. He's been dying to get in here. Jim Miller,
bring him on in sometime.
Yours and Steve Hacker. They both are in bands, but they have sent me numerous messages that they just want to meet you.
Well, you tell them to come on in here, and we'll give them a T-shirt and make them members of Bulldog Nation.
We will do that. I will get right on it. An accident, still dealing with the accident. Eastern Avenue at Heacon, so we have that problem. As far as the rest of the tri-state, northbound 71, 75, slowing from Buttermilk to the bridge. Southbound on 71, if you're heading in Fields Erdel, on down to 275, then kind of on and off right around Kenwood. On down through the Kenwood cut, 471 from Memorial into downtown. So pretty much your typical stuff, but that is the only accident as far as heading out around the tri-state.
I got to just cover some interesting facts today in the newsletter, which you'll find entertaining. The most senior crayon maker, Emerson Mosier, retired after making 1.4 billion crayons for Crayola. It was then that he revealed that he was actually colorblind. Oh, that is hilarious.
But he created the crayons.
He made those crayons.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
It is pretty good. But then again, you know he had a lot of help.
All right, a blonde was shopping at Kmart. I'm going to do the joke today. I haven't even read it. Let's hope it doesn't stink. I'm going to do the joke because I figure we need a laugh. A blonde was shopping at Kmart and came across a shiny silver thermos. She was quite fascinated by it, so she picked it up and took it over to the clerk to ask what it was. The clerk said, "Why, that's a thermos. It keeps hot things hot and cold things cold." "Wow," said the blonde. "That's amazing. I'm going to buy it." So she took the thermos and took it to work the next day. Her boss, who is also blonde, saw it on her desk. "What's that?" he asked. "Why, that's a thermos. It keeps hot things hot and cold things cold," she replied. "What do you have in it?" asked the boss. The blonde replied, 2 popsicles and some coffee.
Denise.
And I laughed at that one.
That was Denise. When did you do that, Denise? That was about last week, I think.
Was that when it was?
That was your story.
Yeah, it was my story. I've got my coffee and popsicles right here in my thermos.
Hey, you know Roseanne ran for president? She drew 30,192 votes.
Are you kidding me?
Somebody told me they wrote you in yesterday.
I had a lot of people write me for president.
Yeah.
Cool. I had a lot of people write me in for Commonwealth Attorney in Kenton County, which I think is funny. Tom Arnold said, "I'm voting for Obama, but for God's sake, let Roseanne have her pot. She's 60. Unbelievable. Christy Alley, not only did she say she fell in love with John Travolta, what a tramp, she also fell in love with Patrick Swayze on the set of TV show North and South.
She was just a horn dog, I think.
She sure was. God. My God. We all know about these alleged illegal votes in Hamilton County. Who cares? It's over. Doesn't make any difference now. Northern Kentucky voting polls, some of them ran out of ballots, including the ones at Hickory Grove. Do you believe that? Running out of ballots. Jeez, oh Pete. That's incredible. Let me see. Sad story to report. 44-year-old Cynthiana resident Christopher Shantz was killed when his 18-wheeler went off the road and overturned yesterday. That's bad news. Really bad news. In sports, what do we have? We might as well do some sports.
Let's do some sports. Lighten things up.
Jerry Jones said he's never going to relinquish the role as general manager. We already heard this, that Rex Ryan, according to the anonymous poll, was the most overrated coach in the NFL. I agree.
Yep.
Roy McIlroy.
I don't agree with the second one. I heard Bill Belichick was ranked 2.
Really?
He's won how many Super Bowls? 3?
And how do you
4?
say he's overrated? Right. I don't get that at all.
I guess you got Tom Brady, who people think is, why they've won, but geez.
And they say that John Calipari has finished his recruiting class for the year 2018, and he's got the 5 top players that are in the 6th grade today.
They'll switch.
In the 6th grade.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury. How about some Billy Joel?
How about it?
Some Billy Joel. We'll dedicate this to the Godfather on Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. How about a traffic report, Denise?
Well, right now dealing with an accident northbound 7175 right at 12th Street. It is on the right shoulder, but that traffic is slow all the way back to Buttermilk. It's going to take you about 25 minutes in that direction. Westbound 275, there's an accident right around Montgomery Road, so watch for that. That traffic is slow as well. Pretty typical traffic there. Also another accident at 8 Mile at Hopper. And then the rest of the traffic just slow at all of your merges, especially heading inbound on 74 from right around Coleraine. Heading northbound on 75, once you get onto 75, from around 74 on up past Mitchell, and then southbound from pretty much right around Union Center on down to 275, then off and on again, down from Lockland on down to Paddock.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, rather than jump right back into some of the program that we got today, I'm going to play a song for you because I think this song is relevant. This is the song that we started out the show with, and it's a great song. It is by REM. Is it by REM? I think it's by REM. Yeah. If it's not by REM.
Yeah, no, it is. I give you,
all right.
You actually have the words over there somewhere.
Well, we're going to play this song because I think it's relevant. When we come back, I'm going to dive. I'm setting the stage for what's to come on Class X Radio. This is Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Governor Chris Christie, thank you, Governor Christie. I'll guarantee you he's happy that Mitt Romney lost so he can act like, hey, man, I'm a bipartisan guy, man. I hugged Barack Obama. And Governor Chris Christie, you will never, ever get my vote, you big fat slob.
You jackwagon.
And lousy governor. A second storm's going to hit New York and New Jersey. Winds up to 70 miles per hour will hit the area today. Snow, rain, and the storm surge between 2 and 5 feet. And while residents on Staten Island and New York have urged to leave ahead of the expected storm, New Jersey has ordered mandatory evacuations for Brick Township, the area Hurricane Sandy made landfall. 140 plaintiffs are seeking damages in a wrongful death suit against the government, Major Nidal Hassan, and the estate of an alleged al-Qaeda leader. The plaintiffs want a ruling that states the shooting was a terrorist attack, which would allow them to receive benefits. Yeah, the country isn't changing. You got to sue to have a guy that has had contact with known foreign terrorists who stands up and says, Allah Akbar, and shoots a bunch of American soldiers. Nah, it's not terrorist attack. Workplace dispute. That's a workplace dispute, what we call that right there. Election facts. No sitting president since FDR in 1940 has won re-election with a higher unemployment rate, which stands at 7.9%. It is also the first time since 1816 the U.S. had 3 consecutive 2-term presidents. One of the things that I've advocated on this show for months, and Barack Obama and Mitt Romney and John Boehner and Rob Portman, anybody listening to this freaking show doesn't have the guts to freaking tell them to do. And remember what I said, mobsters always beat Boy Scouts. Will you explain to me why Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan, we're now on the campaign trail from day one saying unemployment's 11%, unemployment's over 11%, unemployment's over 11%, and let the Obama campaign say, no, it's not, it's 8%, no, it's not. Say, no. Because they changed how you calculate that number, people who aren't seeking employment anymore, people who are dropping out of the seeking unemployment, they don't count those people. It's freaking ridiculous, and the real unemployment is over 11%, but we don't report the real unemployment, we report the fake number. And the fake number is what the media reports, and the fake number is what the politicians quote. And they didn't have the freaking guts to freaking come out and say real unemployment is over 11%. No, they just quoted the 7.9. If I got one beef about Romney and Ryan, Boy Scouts. You know, it's incredible. Obama has now said of the claims of John McCain there's been a cover-up. He's saying, any allegations of cover-up are nonsense. I've said repeatedly, look, these are our people. We send them into harm's way. There's an investigation being done. That is a bunch of crap. And I called it. You watch. The Republicans in the House have subpoena power. Remember Fast and Furious? They've got subpoena power. And they are going to level it upon Petraeus, CIA. They're going to level it upon Panetta at the state, the defense, Hillary Clinton at state. You watch it come. And it is going to be incredible. By the way, you ready for this? This was reported by Ed Henry of Fox News. Obama gets the call from Romney. In his room, Messina, campaign manager, Axelrod, chief advisor, Pluff, chief advisor. Just those four. After he got the call from Romney, he picks up the phone and he calls Bill Clinton to thank him. Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, the unholy alliance, the Democratic Party, supported by the liberal coalition, which I will espouse at 8:05. Until then, here's Lou Graham with some Midnight Blue. This is one of my top 25 songs of all time, folks. Enjoy it. It'll make you feel a little bit better.
Ain't got no regrets. I ain't losing.
Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Coming up at 8:05, if you've missed it, I'm going to deliver my State of the Union address, post-election analysis, which you're going to love. And it will be going out, I hope, by 9 o'clock as a newsletter for you to pass on to friends and family. I know you count on me as your leader to articulate the situation, and I am doing so. And as my good buddy Willie says, let's fight like warrior poets till America dies. Denise, a traffic report on that somber note.
Well, we have a couple of accidents. Westbound 275 at Montgomery, and you're slow in that westbound direction from Ward's Corner. Northbound 7175, there's an accident around 12th Street. It is off on the right shoulder, but you're looking at delays up to 40 minutes from 275 heading northbound down to the bridge. Wenton at Lake Ridge, there's an accident at Paxton at Mount Vernon. And then on southbound 75, you're slow from around Allen Road down to 275, then on and off from Lockland on down to Paddock. 71, you're slowing in your normal spots, really, the rest of the places there. But those are the accidents anyway.
I want to just tell everybody that these local elections, we've already reported them, and you can just check out your local newspaper, any of the news sites. For him. We'll give you the highlights. Everybody knows that Josh Mandel lost to Sherrod Brown. We know that the Cincinnati City Council now gets 4 years. They each get 4 years. Isn't that wonderful? The school levy for Cincinnati Public Schools passed. Joe Deters is reelected. A big defeat, at least I think this is a big defeat, is the fact that the county commissioners is changing. Who was the guy? Who was the one that lost? I'm trying to think of the guy that lost.
Hartman?
No, Hartman won.
He won, yeah.
And so did I can't believe I can't think of. There was a big local loss.
Oh, look.
I'm having my escape. Maybe it wasn't a Hamilton County Commissioner loss. I don't know. Oh, by the way, we got big news to report. Jake has just ordered our Farrah poster.
There better be.
We're getting you a special. You're going to love it. We're getting you a special Matthew McConaughey poster. We really are. Just think Magic Mike. Did you see the movie Magic Mike?
I have not. I've been to see a movie in a while.
I'm really proud of myself because I took my wife to see Magic Mike.
I can imagine why you did.
So she could see it. And I've never seen her smile so much in all my freaking days. And I just sat there and laughed while she enjoyed it. You know?
And
I'm not insecure like that.
Did she reward you in any way?
No.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Well, I'm just asking because I would think that would be a guy's ulterior motive for taking their wife to something like that.
Let me tell, and all of you guys out there know how this works. When you do something really nice and special for your wife, makes no difference. When your wife does something really special for you, you're like a lapdog. We do. And you do anything for them. It's a one-way street, isn't it, guys? You're darn right it is. Let me see. What else do we have? Good old Obama played basketball with Scottie Pippen and others in Chicago. Well, I just hope you just love that.
Was it Portune?
Huh?
Was it Portune you're thinking of? Over Bob Fry?
Nah, that's not it. That's not it at all.
I will find
New York Times editorial, President Obama's dramatic re-election victory was not a sign that a fractured nation had finally come together, but it was a strong endorsement of economic policies that stressed job growth, none, healthcare reform, disaster, tax increases, disaster, and balanced deficit reduction, and of moderate policies on immigration, abortion, and same-sex marriage. I want to just do this analysis. Do you all realize that part of this sequestration and all these automatic cuts because the super committee couldn't come to agreement is because Reid and Boehner had a deal with Obama? They had the deal, and Obama came back and said, need more tax increases. And Boehner was like, are you freaking kidding me? We have this deal here. Are you kidding me? And he blew it up. Now, I got to just say something, folks. Boehner and the Republicans kept the House yesterday. Do you think for a minute Boehner and the Tea Party Republicans are going to fall for the trap of increasing taxes on the wealthy, which will bring in $200 billion on a $1.2 trillion deficit? Do you think they're going to agree to raise taxes and then let Obama and the Democrats stick it up their rear end 2 years from now? No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The only way the country solves its fiscal crisis is Reid and Obama have to get off their high horse, and they have to agree to the cuts that need to be made. Now, Harry Reid, who I hate, all right, says he's ready to work. Get this, folks. These are the bills in 2011 and 2012 that have remained stalled in the United States Senate by Harry Reid. REINS Act requiring major regulations that cost more than $100 million to be approved by Congress. 4 Democrats in favor. Moratorium on new regulations until unemployment is below 6%. Extension of 2001-2003 tax rates and establishing a process for tax reform. Passed by the House, blocked by the Senate. Obamacare repeal. Allow greater offshore drilling, blocked by the Senate. Prevent EPA from regulating or taxing greenhouse gases, blocked by the Senate. Overturn EPA's boiler regulations, blocked by the Senate. Reform the federal rulemaking process, blocked by the Senate. Ease regulation on small business, blocked by the Senate. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, this guy is all of a sudden going to reach across the aisle, shake John Boehner's hand, and let the Senate vote on these and support these things. Not. It's incredible. Beyond incredible. You know what I feel like doing now, Garrett?
What's that?
I feel like taking a walk. Where would a good place to take a walk be?
Around the
Memphis.
outer perimeter?
Memphis.
Ooh.
Yeah, Memphis.
Yeah, that's a good.
You know what? I'm going to take a walk in Memphis. That's where I'm going to take a walk on Class X Radio. I'll be back a little bit. I'm going to go take a walk in Memphis. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. One day on a Saturday, after my wife and I went to Champaign, Illinois for a deposition on a case many years ago, We drove on over to Springfield. I thought it might be the only time I ever go to Springfield. And we went through the burial location and tomb there in Springfield of Abraham Lincoln. And when I got through the tomb, I was crying. It was incredibly just overwhelming to know that I was in the presence of this great man and where he laid to rest. The national park ranger told me that it was pretty common for people to come through there and be in that state. Well, coming out on Friday is the Abraham Lincoln movie. And there was much to do about the book written by Doris Kearns Goodwin about Lincoln, team of rivals, and how he took on his rivals. And Barack Obama took on Hillary. Well, you know what they left out? Lincoln would have also taken in John Boehner, McConnell, and so forth and so on. And I find it incredible that after this election, the story of Lincoln is going to be coming out and being told on the big screen in the lessons. Last night and early this morning, I did my duty. I watched, listened, absorbed, analyzed, and prepared so I could speak with you today. And it was painful to watch all the way through the acceptance speech. And the reality hasn't changed. This country's problems are still here this morning, and there is no snap-your-finger solution. We awake this morning a divided country and with daunting challenges, yet a majority of this country chose the man who increased the divide and deepened the fiscal crisis and created these foreign policy disasters to solve the problems we face. Considering the state of this country, the record of Barack Obama as president, and all the reasons not to reelect him, America reelected him. People who thought the economy was bad reelected him. People that thought we're going the wrong direction reelected him. Why? How can this happen? I'll tell you how. It's much deeper than the campaigns, the candidates, and the record of Barack Obama. Those people that say Mitt Romney's a flawed candidate, bunch of BS. This reelection, based upon the evidence, as Spock would say, is illogical. It is my opinion this reelection is proof America has now gone past the point of reversing the course of decline George Bush, Barack Obama, and the Congress serving since 2000 has set. That course is one of more government and centralization of everything until we reach the socialization and then collapse of America. Banking, healthcare, energy, you name it. They are centralizing. Once again, blacks, Hispanics, young voters, and women decided the election, and they decided more Obama. The fact all these groups now have disastrous job pictures, every one of these groups, unemployment worsened. They still voted for Obama, supports my thesis. Just like I watched the Democratic convention in shock as they couldn't pass a voice vote to put God back into their platform, I watched the cheering crowd in Chicago. What did I see? I didn't see me. I didn't see you. I saw the new majority coalition, which now controls national politics and will never give it back. And in fact, they are increasing their numbers through more states legalizing gay marriage, states legalizing marijuana, the liberal immigration policies, so forth and so on. This group is the liberals, the green energy morons, single women who want taxpayers to pay for their contraceptives and abortions, students who want taxpayers to pay for their college, public union workers who want taxpayers paid wages and pension, union workers who want more even if it kills their employer, people who are more and more secular and don't believe in God, blacks, Hispanics who believe race is more important than their employment percentages, gays who want to be married to each other, individuals who want unlimited unemployment, unlimited medical care and prescription drugs, unlimited government disability, unlimited government food stamps and housing, all of which increased incredibly under Barack Obama. Young people who are transfixed and enamored with a decadent hip-hop culture, which has now not only permeated the pop culture scene, they control it. And many other various assortments of oddballs and goofballs. Juan Williams announced with glee that the blue-collar voting bloc that Reagan had is gone. Yes, why? Because they continue to lose jobs in the liberal coalition. In Ohio, union workers and bailout supporters, overwhelmingly Obama. The time has come as in Rome. Games and the public gift of bread, the dole. Obama and the Democrats use our money to buy votes for voters who vote against us. It is a racket. The Americans who believe in hard work, God, capitalism, Constitution, business, less government, jobs, strong economy, strong military, traditional American values, all of which made America great, have lost control of the country forever. We are now a minority and will remain so because the coalition will never change course. They increased their numbers while ours declined forever. In the forefront of this new America is the traditional network and print media, which has chosen to lose their integrity and ignore and obfuscate the serious issues in this country, the personal narrative and record of Barack Obama. Benghazi, ignore. What's going on right now in New York and New Jersey after the storm? Ignore. It is bizarre. The media and liberal famous people would rather have their liberal black president rather than the man who can do the job. They would rather kill the golden goose and leave us with goose crap than have a strong America. And I marvel how countless single issues should have defeated Obama by themselves. For example, the number of food stamp recipients and unemployed. Or this one for me, he admitted he's lazy. What? America accepts a lazy president for the most important office in America? I could give you 1,000 other facts. I've given them for 4 years. You know them. I mean, the deficit, the budget deficit, the debt, America being downgraded, his energy policy, his immigration policy, his foreign policy failures, on and on and on and on. Polls showed Romney won the issues of values, vision, and leadership. Good for a president? He lost. They blame George Bush still for a bad economy 4 years later, and the voters agree. Watch. They will blame him in 2016. And also watch. All this work together stuff is BS. Obama went through his litany of liberal supporters last night. And he's now going to face a backlash of unbelievable proportions on Sandy, Libya, and more. The House has subpoena power, and they're going to use it. The media and the coalition, they don't care. They are proving having the liberal black man, lazy or not, in the office is more important than anything else. Like the scorpion, whose character's not going to change. Like the zebra, whose stripes aren't changing. Obama, Reid, Boehner, and company will all stake out their positions consistent with who they are and what they have been. I weep for America. I'm going to now provide you a few comments on various issues relative to the campaign. Obama has no mandate. He's a lame duck on arrival. The GOP is in control of the House, thank God. So we're right where we are and going to stay. The GOP blew the Senate opportunities with Aiken, Murdoch, McMahon, and all these jackwagon Senate candidates. Voters saw themselves, by the way, 25% liberal, 40% moderate, and 35% conservative. BS. We're 50% liberal and 50% conservative. Moderate. Will you explain to me what you know what a freaking moderate is? A moderate is a liberal who doesn't want to be called a liberal. Romney did make the fatal mistake. If you want the one fatal mistake that Romney made, he allowed himself in June, July, August, September to be pounded with negative ads defining him. You know what you do? You define your opponent. And Axelrod admitted they did what the Senate candidate Bennett did in Colorado. Call him an extremist, defining. You do not let that happen. They did. Romney would have been a great president. He's a good man. But 50+1 rejected him for all the reasons that Obama's campaign said they should. Please see my coalition analysis. And let me say this. Let me have the gonads to say this. Everybody talks about diversity. We need diversity. Diversity. Liberal diversity is not good for the country. And let me explain. It's not race, nationality, creed, and religious diversity that harms America. Everyone supports that. Don't we? We all support that kind of diversity. Liberal diversity. The diversity of gay marriage. The diversity of free spending. The diversity of illegal immigrants. That's the diversity which harms America. You heard it here first, folks. Liberal diversity, bad. Ethnic, racial, religious diversity, good. And these billion-dollar campaigns, super PACs, 4-year campaigns, exit polls, polling every day. Campaigns for president have become like machinery. It's kind of scary. They say, we know who the voters are. We know how they think, and we're going to get them to the polls. Have freaking voters lost their free will? And by the way, since Romney lost Florida, Virginia, and Ohio, maybe it doesn't matter, but Ryan didn't even win Wisconsin for him. He turned out to be a poor choice. He came off like a Boy Scout in the debate. And remember this, folks, mobsters will always beat Boy Scouts. Always. Wolves will devour sheep if the sheep do not have strong shepherds. I have one big what if. What if Justice Roberts found Obamacare unconstitutional? That's a big what if for me. Fox News coverage, terrible. Megyn Kelly, lightweight. Should have heard her try and explain like she knew something about Elizabeth Warren. Karl Rove made a scene rejecting the call of Ohio. I'll guarantee you Roger Ailes has Karl Rove in his office today or on the phone. Brett Baer had to keep saying, we're on the same page, we're on the same page, we're on the same page. And then somebody else on Fox News pointed out Megyn Kelly has people helping her on Twitter. I'm sure something Megyn Kelly didn't want known. Megyn Kelly goes, no, I don't. Michael Barone, egg on his face. Dick Morris, egg on his face. Bulldog, egg on his face. Ladies and gentlemen, when I win a trial, I tell you I won a trial. When I lose a trial, I tell you I lost a trial. Man, I thought Romney was going to win. Obamacare and all the regulatory agencies Obama controls are now going to strangle us. Just watch. Colorado had legalization of marijuana on the ballot. It passed. What voters did that bring out? This was all planned. Obama won there. All the liberals come out to vote for legalization of marijuana. He wins Colorado. Coincidence? I don't think so. And by the way, that's the expansion of this liberal coalition I'm talking about. Same-sex marriage passed in Washington, Maryland, and Maine. I rest my case. Illegal immigration keeps coming. See, this is what they're doing. They keep increasing their numbers. More illegal Hispanics, more people supporting gay. It just increase those numbers, increase those numbers. And last but not least, I just want to say, my man Herman Cain would have won. Can we play Scorpions, Rock Me Like a Hurricane? That'd be fun to play. Now, we got a break coming up. We come back, more Radio Superbity. I'll get you a traffic report. And my newsletter, everything that I just said is going to be coming to you by video and by print and by audio very soon on Class X Radio.
The new 88 point.
Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Again, my thesis, folks, today is that coalition that's going to control national politics for the rest of America's future is not going to change. They're going to keep increasing their numbers. And it's really incredible. It's really, really incredible. Now, it doesn't mean that you're still not going to have congressional districts that can be controlled by Republicans. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have certain states that can be controlled by Republicans or Senate seats or anything else. But I'm not kidding you. It's my opinion. And people talk about things swinging back and forth. No. It's not going to swing back this time. It's over. You are never going to not see this liberal coalition that I've outlined fall apart. They've got it. And it's not going to change. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, we now have joining us Alex Triantafilou, Alex T, as I like to call him, who is the chairman of the Hamilton County Republican Party. Alex T, how you doing?
Well, Eric, it wasn't what we wanted last night, of course, but I'm going to take a page from Ronald Reagan's book and keep my head up and be optimistic and hope for the best for the great country.
Well, that's what you got to do. That's what I'm preaching this morning as well, Alex. I want to just say this, and I think Hamilton County is a good example of what I'm talking about nationwide. And if you haven't heard me say it, what I am saying this morning is the coalition which is now formed that dominates the national political stage for president, which is the coalition of liberals, the green energy folks, blacks, Hispanics, the youth, single women who want the government to pay for contraceptives and abortion, the kids who want free college education, the people that want free immigration. I mean, that whole big coalition. It doesn't matter, let's face it, the job numbers for the blacks, young, Hispanics, and women were terrible under this president. Didn't make any difference. That coalition is going to keep growing. I mean, we had legalization in 3 states of gay marriage. We had legalization of marijuana. We have the same immigration policy today. They're going to keep pumping illegals into this country. And those of you like you and me that believe in hard work, job growth, business, all that, we're in the minority now, and it's not going to change because they buy them. Add to that, the public union workers, the private union workers, they take our money, Alex, and buy that coalition. And I'm being honest, I know you're trying to be optimistic. I think on the national stage, that coalition is never leaving us.
Well, look, it's tough to be optimistic, and it's very tough to disagree with much of what you just said. But look, my DNA is focused and is designed to help us win elections. And we lost last night at the national level. We had some successes here locally, some not so great successes. But anyway, listen, I'm focused on winning, and the way to win, I think, really in this sort of American Idol culture, this sort of celebrity-obsessed culture, is to develop a message that works with the American people. And then hopefully once elected, you can implement the kind of changes that we really, really significantly need. The good news is we've got Speaker John Boehner, Cincinnati's own.
Yes.
John Boehner's a real guy, understands our real problems.
Yes.
He's there to help lead us.
Thank God.
So,
I got to ask you this.
2 years from now, we're going to grow that majority in the House. I'm almost confident of that.
Alex, I would be a fool not to ask you to analyze Hamilton County top down, analyze Hamilton County, both the presidential election all the way down to some of the local races, and just comment how you like, where did you win, where were you happy? I know we held on to, of course, Joe Deters, Hartman. Why don't you just analyze Hamilton County for everybody listening? You're the Hamilton County Republican chairman. I'd be a fool not to ask you to just analyze last night for Hamilton County.
Well, thanks for the chance to do that. I'll do my best here to do it quickly, Eric. Take your time. It's a mixed bag. Look, we did better for the Republican nominee for president, by 50%. Obama won Hamilton County by 29,000 votes last time. It'll be probably 15,000 or less than that when all the ballots are counted this time. So, we actually improved on where we were 4 years ago in a county, by the way, that demographically is trending toward the Democrats. We're one of the last places with any kind of an urban environment where you can still win as a Republican. We held on to a critical race in our courthouse, and Tracy Winkler, who's a terrific clerk of court,
yes, she is,
well in the judicial ranks. Eric, we do very well with judicial races here in Hamilton County, and last night was no exception. We held on to a seat with Leslie Gibbs taking over for Dennis Helmick, who's retiring. So we're doing very well in the judicial ranks. Look, we lost a big one. The sheriff's race was a big one.
That's the one I couldn't think of, Garrett. Yeah, losing the sheriff's race was tough.
Yeah, that's a very tough one, and there'll be a lot of finger pointing and analysis on that thing, and for probably a couple of reasons we lost that race last night. Our candidate was terrific. He raised a ton of money, just really kind of never broke free from some of that collective bargaining stuff that we had going on last year in Ohio. I think paid a price with the rank and file, and we've got to continue to turn that page and make sure those voters come back to us. But the overall analysis is demographically shifting Hamilton County. Of course, is probably going to go for Democrats for president, and we have to field candidates that appeal to a wider spectrum. A and B, we need to have people who deliver our message in the way that Ronald Reagan did.
Alex, I want to compliment you and the Hamilton County Republican Party for this, because I'm not naive. I'm pretty smart when it comes to politics, and I recognize the challenges that have changed for the Hamilton County Republican over the last 10 years. And for you and the Republican Party to still maintain the judicial. And by the way, Hamilton County, as a lawyer, and I know you're a practicing lawyer too, we have an outstanding Hamilton County Common Pleas judiciary. They are really good judges. And another thing is that I got to compliment you that, you still get Monzel elected. You get Hartman elected. Joe Deters gets reelected. Winkler gets reelected. We still have, we have Steve Shabbat. It really is a bigger challenge. And despite that challenge, you work those suburbs hard, you work them well, and it pays off. So, it's just like anything. You guys could throw that white flag up, but you're in that battle swinging, and thank God, because it would be worse. You'd lose even more than that sheriff's position. My whole thing as an outsider looking in a little bit on that sheriff's race is I think you hit the nail on the head relative to that union issue. And is it kind of ironic, Alex, that you've got a situation where John Kasich helped improve Ohio, balanced the budget, and the unions turned that thing against Kasich, and they won. They voted that. They took care of that Senate bill, and that still isn't enough for them. I mean, it's like, okay, it's over with. No, it's over. And I see those numbers like where 67% of union households voted for Obama, 75% of the people that supported the bailout voted for Obama. So I think the reason why Donovan lost is you're right. And he's also trying to replace an icon, which is always tough.
Yeah, again, our analysis are the same there. We'll look a little more carefully at that number. The other thing, Eric, that you should know is that Sean Donovan raised an extraordinary amount of money in that race.
For him.
He had a lot of support, just a lot of business community support. So, again, that's a tough one. Congratulations to Jim Neal. I hope he does a good job as sheriff. So we'll see about that. But look, we're not waving the white flag. The Republican Party is not doing that. People put us in the wilderness in 2008. We came back in 10, won more seats in the House than ever in history. We swept the statewide races in 10. This thing is cyclical. The pendulum swings. It swung back a little bit toward Barack Obama, who's a political force that we underestimate, frankly. So, you know what? We're going to live to fight another day. That day is going to be 2013 here in Cincinnati, and then 20 in all our municipalities, and then in 14. We're going to go win this state for John Kasich and our Republican team.
You know what? I believe that, Alex, because let me tell you something. The next 2 years, it's not going to be pretty for old Barack Obama, and I agree with that. Alex T., thanks for coming on. It means a lot to me that you're willing to do so. This is Alex T., the chairman of the Hamilton County Republican Party. I really appreciate it. And you hang in there and keep up the good fight.
Thanks, Bulldog. We'll talk soon.
All right. You know what? He's a great guy.
It was nice of him to call in.
Alex Triantafulu. Alex T. That chairman of, that's Greek. Yeah. Chairman of the Hamilton County Republican Party. Good guy, good lawyer. And, you get the battle. And I've been there, man. I tell you right now, though, the difference on election night and the next day when you win and lose is incredible.
I can't even imagine.
How about a traffic report before we go to a song?
Well, you know what? We did have a problem on 275, eastbound 275 at 471. There is an accident in that area, and you are backed up all the way back to right around the Licking River. So if you're heading towards 471, you're going to run into some problems there. Also an accident Kemper east of 275. And then northbound 7175, you were still on and off your brakes there from Buttermilk to the bridge. So other than that, just a few little slow spots out there.
All right, let's play a few verses of Rock Me Like a Hurricane for Herman Cain before we go into the break on Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog, on Class X Radio. How about a traffic report there, Blondie?
Say, you've been on fire this morning, haven't you? Well, we had a couple of accidents earlier. Eastbound 275 at 471, there was an accident there. Now, the traffic seems like it's clearing up. It was kind of blocking the lane there. We had a couple of other problems, but honestly, they have all cleared out. So even looking at the cameras there, you've still got a couple of slow spots. 7175 from Buttermilk on down to the bridge, still looking slow. On 275 heading towards 471, just everybody wanting to slow down and see what's going on. And then once you get to 471, just a little bit heading into downtown. At the Ronald Reagan merge on 75 and on 71, you're slow in both those spots. The rest of it looking pretty good.
All right. Thank you very much. By the way, I announced yesterday that the Lifetime Lifetime channel at 10 p.m. today was going to air, My Life is a Lifetime movie with Nicole Howe. But apparently, somebody said they saw a promo, but I want to just say this, that apparently it's gotten booted like to a different time frame. They keep changing the schedule around. So I don't know what's going on with that. So
we can always let them know.
I don't think it's going to air tonight, but when it does, I will let everybody know. Barack Obama's speech last night, this is amazing. He regurgitates all the liberal positions that he has. And by the way, it made me scared when he says, we rise and fall as one nation. Yeah, thank you. And then he said he wants to sit down with Governor Romney. And he said he wanted to work with Republicans. Reed said he wanted to work with Republicans. Folks, I don't buy it. I don't believe it for a minute. I just don't. Right or wrong, I don't believe it. I'll believe it when I see it and I hear it, but I just don't believe it. And that's just the way I feel. Here's something humorous that Ron Pointer, Bulldog Nation member Ron Pointer, posted on Facebook, which I love this idea. He said, what if we took America and like west of the Mississippi gave to Romney to run and east of Mississippi for Barack Obama to run and see what happened?
Let them compete, huh?
And you know what's so sad is when Romney was gracious in his concession speech. And God, when you think about it, all the time and the money and the effort and the people and the second guessing they're going to have, so forth and so on. I mean, my God, this is running for the presidency for 5 years and all of that. I mean, it's just, gosh. I mean, that's how they must feel. Just so painful. But to see Mitt Romney, who has got all these credentials and all of the stature and all the successes and the record, and God, to have a chance to have him as president, instead of 4 more years of Barack Obama. And you know what my wife said? She goes, I kind of hate that you got to keep beating up on this guy for 4 more years. And I said, you know what? It is. It's exhausting. It's like you can't help it because it hits you right in the face every day, all the things that he's done, and it's going to keep doing. And you know what? This Benghazi thing is going to be bad for this administration. Very bad. And there might even be I'm not kidding you. High crimes and misdemeanors, cover up stuff. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be dicey. And if you all think the Republican Tea Party and the Republicans in control of the House are going to just vote for taxes on the rich and roll over, it ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. I think one of the things that may happen is a rollback on the defense cuts. I think they can maybe reach a compromise on that. But it's not going to be pretty at all. Following with what Alex T spoke about, that's a seat I couldn't think of that they lost, the sheriff's seat, Donovan. That's a big deal. Why? Because you have these budget issues. You've got the jail issue. You've got the law enforcement on the ground issue. And that position's been held by the Republicans forever. So you now have got a Democratic sheriff, and he takes care of the jail as well. By the way, this is funny. I personally usually benefit from having Democrats in power because I'm a plaintiff's attorney. I'm a criminal defense attorney. But I look at the big picture, and I'm like, that's bad. I mean, I got a couple lawsuits against the Hamilton County Justice Center and the company that takes care of their medical treatment, which are terrible, sad facts and cases. And it'll be interesting to see the attitude this guy takes, But I know there was a big fundraiser at the Montgomery Inn that Donovan had that I helped old Dean Gregory kind of promote. But, oh, well. Garrett, are you going to survive, buddy?
I guess. Move to Canada, maybe.
I do want to just say another thing.
I lost hope. I lost a lot of faith in Ohio, and
we all thought this enthusiasm was all Romney and all those, but the reality of it is, it was true. There's a lot of enthusiasm, people going, but there was a bunch of enthusiasm out there for the Democrats too voting. The union issue in the state of Ohio had them all organized. For example, Wisconsin and Ohio, that union issue coalesced. What I find fascinating is how Scott Walker can win in Wisconsin by that margin, and then they vote for Obama for president with Ryan on the Romney ticket. Weird.
That was a big state to lose, Wisconsin.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, this is Journey, Wheel in the Sky. We come back, we'll wrap this show up on Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio, giving you radio superbity. Let's have our final traffic report for the day.
Well, you know what? Things are looking pretty good and clearing out there. Still just a little slow on 7175 heading northbound, but I just kind of rolled around and looked at all the cameras. I don't drive around or fly around. I just can look at all the cameras on the roads. And everything else looks like it's moving pretty well for you out there.
All right, I appreciate that.
Hell of a report, Denise.
Wasn't it, though? Just right on the money there.
I want everybody to know that one of the things that struck me waking up this morning is the fact that all of my troubles and woes, all of my challenges, all of my dreams, trials, and tribulations that I had yesterday exist today as well. But it's amazing how they all seem, how should I say this? They all seem extra heavy in light of the backdrop of the election results. Because I'm telling you right now, for small business people to get loans isn't going to get any easier now. There's not going to be an explosion of jobs in this country. Quite to the contrary. And I would like to take a part of the economic sector to make my point about going forward, what's going to happen. Real quick, though, I got to mention this. Obamacare is going to be an unmitigated disaster. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. Several years ago, back in 2008, I'll never forget this. I had a conversation with my dear old dad. It was right after everything was collapsing and the economy was going down the tubes. And my dad told me, he goes, I just don't know what's ever going to pull us out of this. And I said this 4 years ago to my dad. And I'd already formulated this opinion. But I said, Pops, let me tell you something. The one area that could lead to economic resurrection for America, just because we had the computer boom. You sit around and you think about, okay, in the 1950s after World War II, we had housing boom, car boom, consumer appliance boom. I mean, jobs were everywhere, okay? And then we were limping along, and then we got in the 80s and 90s, we had this new economy, computers, and Bill Clinton lucked out and had that. So it's kind of hard to think that, what's going to be the new economy? And I said, Pops, it's energy. It's domestic energy. The number of jobs that can be created by domestic energy is incredible. And if we can develop energy independence for Middle East, it is great. Now let me analyze this for you. First off, in America, we refine the oil. We're the biggest refiner of oil anywhere, a.k.a. New Orleans. So we can refine that gasoline and sell it here. And folks, let me tell you about renewables and green energy, all fine and good. Guess what? Jets, trains, semis aren't operated by batteries. All right. Permits. Under Obama's administration, permits for federal drilling way down. He publicly declared, I'm going to bankrupt the coal industry, and he has. And he's going to. So you're going to have jobs in Kentucky, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Western Virginia, and other places down. He is an anti-fracking guy. And that, of course, is the big one that's creating jobs in North Dakota, Ohio, Pennsylvania. We have more natural gas under our lands than any other country in the world. How about natural gas cars? Oil. He's against drilling in Anwar. He was against the XL pipeline. Then he backs up and gives us a little bit. Look what the XL pipeline does for job creation and energy dependence. He opposes Anwar, but yet he can lend $1 billion to Brazil. He shut down for a year drilling in the Gulf of Mexico, but yet lends Brazil a couple billion for exploratory drilling in the freaking Gulf. It's incredible. Solyndra, look at all of his green energy bets. Bankrupt, billions of our money. Our money he plays with. This ain't Barack's money, it's our money. But he treats it like his money. I mean, I'm telling you, it is an unmitigated disaster, his energy policies. So what does he do? He says last night in his speech, he wants energy independence. What? How can he call for energy independence when he's been opposing every single thing that could lead to energy independence? Makes no sense. The centralization of the control of energy is that. Then you've got community banks. Dodd-Frank's burden them. He's sold out just like Bush. Let's have a bunch of banks too big to fail. That's what he's all about. That hurts the community. Dodd-Frank is a jobs killer. Is he going to change his mind all of a sudden on that? No. Obamacare. Is he going to change his mind on that all of a sudden? No. Job killer. He wants to tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich, like that is the solution. He has divided America through his entire campaign, and now he wants to work with the people that he's bashed into the ground. It's not going to happen. The Tea Party in the Republican House is going to hold the establishment's feet to the fire, and it's not going to happen. And I can tell you right now, McConnell and Boehner are old pros. It's not going to happen. We're going to stay in gridlock. Now, the good thing is that we have a situation where the House has subpoena power, so we're going to dig into Libya and Benghazi. You watch the backlash on Hurricane Sandy. Everybody's bashing Bush. And again, we'll see how the mainstream media treats him now. We'll see how that goes down. And we're weak everywhere in the world. You know, is he going to all of a sudden reverse course on that? I mean, is Obama going to have a transformation all of a sudden? No. It's not. He says that on election night, and he says he wants to work with the Republicans. He's not going to work with the Republicans. It's not going to happen. I want to promote the radio station. You can listen to me every morning from 6 to 9 a.m. on 88.9 and 89.1 FM on Class X Radio. There's an app for Class X Radio. There is a website for ClassXRadio.com. You can also watch the live simulcast, videocast on ClassXRadio.com and the BulldogsNation.com. We put the podcast up there and on Facebook. We also take bits out from it and put that up. You can get my newsletter. Let me know, Eric at ericdeters.com. If you'd like information about my law firm, check out ericdeters.com. If you've got ideas for the show or need additional information about law, you can text me at 859-250-2527 or email me at eric@ericdeters.com, and I will be happy to help you out. Now, Denise, you got anything we need to promote for Class X Radio? I know there is a concert. I think it's at Bogart's for Wish You Were Here, a Pink Floyd cover band on Friday.
You know what? I haven't gotten anything on that. I can check on it.
We just gave away something. I know that's Friday. Friday at Bogart's is I Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. Also, if you like classic rock, listen to us 7 days a week. Right. I'm the only talk show, I think, on, but we play great classical music here. Also, if you want to have a sponsor, just contact me and I'll pass it on to Bill Spry. We are a nonprofit radio station. Ladies and gentlemen, every dog has their day. Yesterday was not America's. It wasn't Romney's. It wasn't mine. It was Obama's. May God have mercy on America. Class X Radio.